Hey guys, Chart Stoppers back with another video. In this channel we take a look at different stocks and map out their key support and resistance areas on their chart. It's important to know these areas before you buy any stock, and it's also important to know what kind of a trend a stock is in before you buy into it. Support and resistance is one of the most important things you should know about a stock before you either buy or sell. And also, if you're doing any day trading, swing trading, or options trading, you're definitely going to want to get familiar with support and resistance. Now, just to let you know, I'm not a financial expert. These videos are for educational purposes only, but I am here to point out key factors on the charts which do impact the price action of a stock. I also provided a link in the description for Webull. You could use that and start an account. You'll get 2 free stocks. Now, I also provided a link for Robinhood, and you could use that to start an account and get 1 free stock. And just to let you guys know, we will be doing 3 videos per week on 3 different stocks. So if you have a recommendation for a video, leave a comment below and I will try to get to it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and have your notifications on so you don't miss out on any new content here. Okay, so let's get into what the market left for us on Friday. Today is Sunday, August 15th, 2021, and you can see here the S&P 500 finished the day on Friday up 0.18%. The Dow Jones finished up 0.05%. And the NASDAQ finished up 0.04% on Friday. So pretty flat for the Dow and the NASDAQ, but the S&P finished the week strong, up 0.18%. So we'll see what next week brings. Hopefully it's another green week and a strong trading week. Now let's get into the stock I wanted to take a look at today. Today I wanted to go over NIO. I've done a few videos on this one before. I'll leave a link in the upper right hand corner to the most recent one. You should be seeing that now. And you could go back to that one, check out how I got to my chart right now. All right, but anyways, NIO finished the day on Friday down $1.44, finished around $40.86, which was the equivalent of being down 3.39%. All right, and at after hours, it was down another 17 cents, which is the equivalent of about 0.41%. So not a good week. Or not a good Friday for NIO. The past week, this stock is down almost 6.5% at 6.41%. In the past month, it is down almost 7% at 6.96%. So not a good week and not a good month for this stock. But in the past 3 months, it is up almost 30% at about 28%. All right, so pretty good 3 months coming from that correction that we had in February, March, and April in the NASDAQ. It has recovered nicely from that. In the past year, it is up over 210%, so very good if you bought in a year ago when it was right around this area here on the chart, which was around $3 here. You saw the run up all the way to almost $67 at $66.99. It hit on January 11th here, and that was right around the time of NIO Day there. You had a big run up towards NIO Day, and then subsequently after that, you had a little bit of consolidation. Looked like we might try to retest those highs. Couldn't quite make it up to there, and then a huge sell-off after that once we got into that correction that I talked about in the NASDAQ. So let's take a look at the chart here and we'll see what happened. You could see that we had a support around $55.40. That held up for a while here up at the top. Looked like it was going to consolidate and push higher. But once it failed to break that high right here, you saw a huge sell-off right after that. And that was, after NIO Day. Everyone was excited for NIO Day, and it was kind of a buy the rumor, sell the news event happening around that time. So, and then you also got caught in the correction that happened in the NASDAQ. So that's what caused this huge sell-off here. Nothing fundamentally wrong about the company. Just, buy the rumor, sell the news pretty much, and a correction on top of that did not help this stock at all. So we broke that support there. Dropped down to our next support. That did not hold up at all, really, around $47.20. That didn't hold up. You could see we dropped down to our next support around $40. Looked like we broke through there and then recovered very quickly above there. So it looked like it was going to hold around that area, but then we dropped below again, dropping all the way down to our last support here around $35 here. And that's where we found a lot of buyers to come in and cause a nice bounce initially. And then another sell-off. We had another bounce off this support, and then a sell-off, another bounce. So we hit the support 1, 2, 3 times and had nice bounces each time. And then finally we broke that support a little bit here, but it did quickly recover to have a very nice push upwards all the way up to that $55 resistance area now. So that former support here at 55 acted as resistance as we traded all the way up to that area, and it got rejected. The price action got rejected from that area. So that'll be an area to watch moving forward if we ever return to there. It looks, I'm thinking we will eventually, but in the short term, however, it does not look like we are headed upwards. It actually looks like we might be headed for a downtrend here, and I'm going to show you why in a second. But first, let me point out my trend lines here. I have a green trend line going back to around May of 2020 here, and you can see it's been following that, bouncing off here on that swing low of the correction here, and that's where I had to move my trend line. I initially had it going around up in this area, but it broke that trend line, and now I have it right here coming off of that low of the correction. So that's where it'll be, and hopefully we could maintain and hold on that trend line moving upwards here. Now I also have a red trend line that shows our downtrend that we are in. You could see after hitting these all-time highs up here, we failed to make it back up to that area and produce a higher high from that. So now we are heading in, we have a lower high here and a lower low that we hit here. So the question is, what's next coming off of that lower high? Are we going to continue to the downside and make another lower low here? Or are we going to break back above this red trend line that shows our lower high trend that we're in and produce a higher high and then a higher low eventually? Only time will tell, and I don't have the answer for that right now. But in the short term, I wanted to take a look at what's been going on right now here. As you could see, we are looking like we are producing a head and shoulders pattern going back to around the beginning of June here. Once it broke above that $40 support area here, you see the head was produced, the left shoulder was produced right in here, and now we have a right shoulder that failed to go above the high of the head here. So we might be looking at a head and shoulders pattern, and it will be confirmed. As you can see, it's been holding in this tight consolidation period after hitting that higher high right here. And it looks like it is trending downwards toward this $40 support area, and that is the neckline of this head and shoulders pattern. So if we are going to break below that $40 support here, it is looking like we might see a bigger downtrend and go all the way down to around this $34.50 area of support down here where we saw the nice bounces from the correction. So again, like I said, the neckline is going to be around $40. It looks like we have we have a shoulder here, a head, and then another shoulder rounding down towards that support. So it looks like it is either going to drop down to that $40 area and bounce, and then if it breaks above around $47 off that bounce, then that head and shoulder pattern will be interrupted by that. But if it does continue to fall, hit this $40 support and then fall below there and close below there, we will be looking at further downside, and in my opinion, it will probably be to around that $35 support that we've seen in the past. Because if we drop below that $40 support there, we are going to also break our trend line here that has been holding us up going forward here, coming off that lower low of the correction. So if we break below that trend line, that will also be pretty bearish in my opinion too, looking at the chart. So that's why I think we will be headed down to that $35 area. So just something to keep in mind if you are trading this stock. And let's take a look at the moving averages here. You can see we are below our 200-day moving average. That is, not good. Also, we broke below there, right around the end of July, and it looks like we haven't been able to get above there and hold since then. So keep an eye on that. We're also below our 50-day moving average too, so that is not a good sign. And our 21-day moving average, we are below that also. So not looking good right now with the momentum. Let's take a look at the weekly chart, see what we could find over here. And another thing to keep in mind is you could see this 50-day moving average, which follows my trend line pretty closely. That has been acting as support since before this stock broke out. So you could see during the lows of the correction here, that held up as support, that 50-day moving average. So that's why it's very important to hold this $40 support area, because that is around where our 50-day moving average is on our weekly chart that has acted as support in the past. It's sitting at $41.25, and we actually closed below there for the week last week. So that is not a good sign. Hopefully we see a nice bounce this week to put us back above there. Otherwise, if we open and head lower, it's not going to be looking good for this stock. And like I said, it's going to move lower and break our trend here. So we'll keep an eye on that. That's going to be very important, because you saw that 50-day moving average even held up during the lows of the correction. So if it doesn't hold up now, that's going to show a big sign of weakness for this stock. All right, and let's go back to the daily chart. That's about it for this one. Like I said, just be very careful if you're trading this stock, and watch out for that break of momentum and further downside risk. If you're holding the stock as a long investor, I would maybe try to average down. If you are looking to buy more, wait for a better entry around $35 if you see this stock show weakness this week, because this is going to be a very big week for this stock. Like I said, that weekly chart shows a lot of weakness closing below that 50-day moving average there. So we'll keep an eye on that moving forward, all right? Like I said, if you're looking to buy more, I would expect around the $35 area if it shows more weakness this week. So that's my video on NIO. That's my update. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment below. I'll try to get to them. And make sure you subscribe to the channel and have your notifications on so you don't miss out on any new content here. Also, I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time on Chart Stoppers.